Alright, hello. So this is going to be my part 2 of the Tokyo Drift Mustang that I promised. And this is my wheel. You're not going to be able to see the whole thing because my camera only has a 0.6 ultra wide camera angle on this phone. So this is like the best that I can get with the phone in front of me. So, but you'll be able to see, how it turns and stuff. But as you can see, I got Forza Horizon 6 open, and we're gonna get the Tokyo Drift Mustang that I built in the first video. So we're gonna go to Ford, and it's right here. And just get car. From the last video I made, I actually made some minor differences to this, I believe, in the tuning setup. So I've gone down to 32.5 for the front tire pressure, and then 17.5 for the rear. It's not really like a huge noticeable difference, and I've also decreased the rear even more to negative 1.5 for the rear camber, and for the front toe in I did negative 1.3, and then for the rear I went outwards towards 0.5, and everything else is the same, it seems like. So I've changed the braking a little bit, but I'm going to put that back to 48. And actually I'm going to increase this to like 103 for the braking force pressure, and I'm just going to leave everything else the same, and then I'm just going to exit. I don't really have like a favorite drift spot yet, so it's been 2 weeks since the game is released. Apologies in advance if you can't see my car because of my hand. Make sure the volume is up. And so yeah, this is the car. Looks the same as last time. I haven't done any body modifications. So plans that I had for this video is I kind of wanted to teach how to actually use this car to drift, because it's a high horsepower car and people usually start with lower horsepower cars, so maybe you just don't really like have a clear idea of like how to drive it. But I guess since we're here at this road up ahead where it has like a hairpin, 2 hairpins actually, we'll just use that. So for the first one, the first turn isn't a hairpin, so we'll just go ahead and use 4th. And when we're drifting with this car, you kind of want to rock your wheel back and forth like this. And then when the weight wants to transfer to the other side, you just want to let the wheel do its thing. And I'm going to do that again so you guys can understand fully. So yeah, letting go of the gas, and I'm going to let the wheel spin, letting go of the gas. Now I could have had a better drift there if that car wasn't in the way, so I'm going to try again. I'm going to get a little bit more speed, so I'm going to back up a little bit more. Now I'm going to take the hairpin. Gotta be mindful of the traffic in this game because it's been overdone a little bit. And I kind of messed up there. But yeah, keeping a drift with this car is fairly easy as long as you be mindful of how drifting works with weight transfer and like rocking the wheel back and forth, you know, like this. Whenever you want the car to change direction, you just kind of let off the gas. And if you're like coming to a corner, what you can do is, let me get up to one. Actually, I'll demonstrate first. So when you get to a corner in these fucking cars, you kind of want the car to go this way for this specific corner up ahead, because we want the weight transfer to make us go this way. So we also want to be on the side of the road that I am right now. So it's kind of like racing in a way. Like drifting needs to have racing lines, just like racing needs to have racing lines. So because the road is going this way up ahead, you can see on the mini map, we need to drift this way first, and then that will let us do a weight transfer that will make us go this way, if that makes sense. So let me go ahead and do that. And if you want to use your e-brake, you want to e-brake while your car is drifting this way for this specific road. And I'm going to try to demonstrate that. Now B right here is my e-brake on this wheel. I tried to use a normal, lever e-brake, but I just didn't really like it for me personally, so I decided to just go with the button, and I've become used to it. And it's not really as hard as you might think, like whenever you're starting a turn, you don't really need to turn that much to initiate like a really, really strong slide. You just need to do about that much. And it works the other way too. And when you're upside down, you can either just press it here, or if you're just like somewhere random, like right here, you can even press it with your palm, like this. You can hear it. Or like that. Or even like this. Well, that does the pulse. But you get the point. And then for the shifting, I use the pedals, which are on each side. And this is like kind of confusing when you first start out. You kind of have to like get used to which pedal is which when the wheel's upside down or sideways like this. So yeah, it just takes some time to getting used to, but once you get it down, it's like second nature pretty much, and you don't even have to really think about it or even look at the wheel to know like what direction your wheel is in. So, but anyways, let's do this e-brake slide I'm talking about. So I want to get a lot of speed. Oh shit, my bad. I let go of the gas at the wrong time, so I'll just do it here. See how I'm using the weight transfer? Also, when you're braking, For me, what works better is actually like pumping your brake pedal with your foot rather than just holding it down like as much as you can, or even softly. You want to brake. And, or what else you can do is you can just tap. That might be easier for you, but I think pumping the actual brake pedal is better because it lets you get a little bit more slide, and it also lets you hold the e-brake slide like this. And Forza Horizon 6 specifically, it's kind of difficult to hold the e-brake slide without a brake. See how the car just like naturally wants to center back towards the middle of the road. So that's why we use the normal brake pedal to hold it like this. We want to hold either right or left when we e-brake slide. I'm just going to take this spiral down here just so I can show more demonstration about like how to actually control the wheel. So you're going to see me like rocking it back and forth depending on how much angle I actually need. And the slower that you're going, the less that you need to do it. Also, the lighter that you're holding your pedal, it's also like the less that you need to do it. Going for a slide. That time I didn't even use e-brake. There we go. Here's another one. That one I didn't get the good weight transfer. I'm gonna try again on right here. I have to watch out for the cars. There we go. Remember to pump your brakes. You can also do one that's turning in. Okay, I kind of want to show what it looks like from the inside. So like this. Now for me, because I've drifted so much in third-person chase cam, coming back to this where I started out is kind of difficult, but I'll just try my best. I find that I have to pay attention to the mini-map more often. that's enough of that. So I know a lot of you are going to be curious, how do I get around hairpins with this? Well, I'm glad you're asking if you are. So, this is the most popular hairpin section, Hakone Nanamagari. And I have 357,000 on it. And to qualify for 3 stars, you need 340,000. So let's go there. Shouldn't have to worry too much about cars here. That's like one of the good things about this drift zone. And because it's raining, it'll be a little bit harder for me to control the steering wheel, but not by too much. But yeah, I'm not looking to go like super fast. So you take what you know from the slide technique that I just taught you, and then when you actually come around the actual turn, what you want to do is, when you're like right about here, you want to, obviously adjust your wheel. Then you want to hammer the gas pedal all the way. And then when you get to about here, you want to be like really, really soft on the gas pedal. I'm talking about like maybe like 10 to 20%, and you adjust based on how much angle you need. You do not want to mess with the steering wheel too much, because these are really tight turns, and the angle really depends on your gas. So let me show you. So hammer. Oh, I didn't realize the drift zone ended, so let me go back so I can reinitialize it. So yeah, I forgot that the drift zone ends if you like slow down too much in this game. So let's do our e-brake slide. See how I'm not moving the wheel? But you do want to adjust it at the end. Same thing here. Hold the wheel center, adjust at the end. Be careful if it's raining, because you're going to get really slippery turns like I'm doing. Just at the end. Now you have to find the right gas pressure for this car in order for it to get a smooth slide, and that's part of the challenge that I like with drifting this. You might have a few turns where you do have to actually adjust the wheel, and that's fine. But for the most part, you shouldn't have to. So I'm just going to go through this drift zone without talking, so I can actually, do it properly. Maybe I might commentate on like what I'm doing for a little bit here and there. Sometimes you will have to use e-brake more than you would like to if you don't get like a strong weight transfer. these longer straights, you want to switch to 4th gear. So yeah, this wasn't my best drift, but it's fine. It gets to 3 stars, so you get the gist. So let's go back to the highway areas. Let me actually open the map. So yeah, like I said, I haven't really found like a perfect drift spot that I like, but if you really want to, really get in your hours on the drifting, I would suggest going to a racetrack. It's somewhere up here. I forgot exactly where. We can use this one. Sunny Circuit. And you just want to go the opposite way of what the time attack would trigger, so because you're not really trying to do the time attack, obviously. So okay, how do we get in here? Did I miss the entrance? Or is this like a separate? Oh, okay, here we go. You can practice your e-brake weight transfer here. There's another hairpin you can practice on. All kinds of turns here for you to get good. Now, when it comes to drift zones, you typically want to stay to the outer part of the turn. You don't want to drift the inner parts of a turn. You want to stay outer like this. You want to try to do that for every single turn on a drift zone, so that way you get the most points possible, because you will technically cover more distance. I'll switch to first person here in a second for those of you that play in first person. I love getting a long slide like that. Alright, let's go to first person driver cam. Oops. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Remember to hold your gas light on the turns. that are really tight, really sharp. On really wide turns like this, you can kind of hold your gas pretty hard, but you need to moderate it as well. You need to know when to let it go a little bit so you don't fly off the road. Nice wide turn there. You know, maybe you can even come here with your friends and do like a drift race. And that would be cool. You can use, or you can do like some kind of rally with the time. Drift rally. Yeah. And each time you make a lap, you get some CR, so that's also a positive. That's pretty cool. So this car can not only drift, but it can also race. That's one of the benefits of it having, you know, 1,500 horsepower. So it's not just a drift car. It can also race somewhat. You just have to know how to drive it with the gas. Like, you can't just, hammer it down and expect it to not slip. But it takes some skill to do it. And also it's pretty good for off-road drifting. So like if you need to go to like a dirt drift zone, let's choose an easier one. Maybe say this one, Thunderbird. I got 151, but that was with a different car. So let's try this one so I can just demonstrate it. You don't really need to equip rally tires, but you can if you want, but that will get rid of the tune if you just borrowed mine, because, I uploaded this to share. If you got my tune that way instead of making it yourself, obviously the tune's going to go away, but you have the video guide, for the part 1 that you can use, so you can just make it again if you want. So yeah, you can put rally tires on this, but you don't really need it. This car is a fucking monster, so you just need to know when to brake. Remember to try to stay on the outer part of the turns. See, we got 140, and clearly that would have given us 3 stars. So it is a multi-purpose drift car. You can drive with it, you can race with it somewhat if you get really good at it. I've done it in Forza Horizon 4, but it's a lot harder in 6. And the tune is pretty much the same. like with all the numbers, the mile per hour graph and the RPM, stuff like that. You just have to get really, really good at it. So it's not just a drift car. It can do whatever you want, pretty much. Just do an e-brake slide. Just do a long one up here. Watch out. Just do another long one. Remember to pump your brakes. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for this video. It's been about 33 minutes. So yeah, if you have any questions or difficulties with the car, just shoot me a comment. I'll try to answer as best as I can. If you need another part, explaining further how to operate it in a specific way, just let me know. But yeah, that's it. See ya.